Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. And that is because we all believe in Bitcoin. We all believe in crypto. And today is a pretty good day. Not as good as yesterday, but it's a pretty good day. Bitcoin is taking a breather, but altcoins continue to rally. Yes, there is a lot of altcoins that are rallying. Some are taking a breather, but some are really rallying hard. So right now, definitely a very exciting time period for crypto overall. So I want to mention about a few pieces of news in this stream, including Amazon about to jump on the Bitcoin bandwagon, and also not just them, but also a couple other banks that's been really, secretly behind the scenes, but getting themselves involved, and they're getting ready to jump on the Bitcoin bandwagon as well. So I want to talk about those and also look at some altcoins and overall have a good Q&A for you guys on this Saturday morning or night, wherever you may be. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my streams, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I have been doing a lot more altcoin reviews at night, and a lot of you guys have been enjoying them, and a lot of them have been doing very well. So make sure you do hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my content. All right, so with that said, let's get started. Let me turn it to my screen here. All right, so looking at Bitcoin, like I said, it's down a little bit, but right now Bitcoin is just doing its thing, and it's just consolidating, and that's a fantastic thing because after the Elon pump, after the Tesla entrance, Bitcoin has just pretty much stayed up here, right? A lot of people expected that was temporary, that maybe it would drop down to 40s. It didn't, and it's just staying up around this 47, 48 mark, and now 48,000 seems to be the upper resistance right now. For some reason, it's 48,000, not 49 or not 50,000, but this is a terrific place to be. Bitcoin is just holding, and you know what? It's giving the altcoins a chance to really shine at this point. But we know Bitcoin is not going away anytime soon with all these companies and institutions and even retail investors coming in. It's going to be glorious. And I think we're going to be around 50,000 in no time. It could come as soon as tonight or tomorrow. You know, things tend to move pretty quickly on the weekends. So we can see like a huge jump suddenly out of the blue, right? And one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so smooth right now is because F2 Pool, because of the attention that we have been paying attention to them, right? The attention that they've been getting, they have not been able to really dump at all. You could see that their dumping volume has decreased dramatically. It's really stagnant, really stagnant. So right now, the whales on F2 Pool or F2 Pool themselves have really curbed their dumping, and that is also helping keep Bitcoin, at its current level. So that's also a fantastic thing. All right, so let's get to the big news of the day, and that is this. And we kind of suspected it right after Tesla came and jumped into Bitcoin. People start speculating which is the next big company that is going to be jumping in. Now, I think it's Oracle in terms of buying Bitcoin because Larry Ellison sits on the board of Tesla. He approved it, and he is also the chief guy of Oracle. So, and Oracle also has a ton of money. So I think Oracle's be the next one to buy Bitcoin, but it makes a whole lot of sense. Companies like Amazon and Apple, they basically opening up crypto payments, and that is exactly what Amazon is doing. People are watching them like a hawk, and people picked up the fact that, yeah, they have this job opening that was open and now closed. Someone that will be basically enabling digital crypto payments and integrating that into Amazon's ecosystem so people could utilize it to pay for Prime subscription, Prime videos, ordering things online, right? So they are going down this path. Otherwise, why would they be hiring for this exact position? So, and besides that, they believe, well, this has been like I don't know if it's confirmed or rumor or it's been leaked out, but there is going to be a pilot that's going to be launching in Mexico. So they're going to test out Mexico first, maybe to see how it is. I don't know how big they are in Mexico, and then expand elsewhere, of course, in the U.S. and other countries. So this is huge. This is coming. We've been hearing about Amazon getting into this space for a long, long, long time, as we've been hearing about all these other companies, right, that was thinking about it, sitting on the sidelines. But now that PayPal already gone full-blown Bitcoin and crypto, it's really hard to ignore, right? You have the Cash App. That's, of course, they kind of started it, but they're still relatively small. PayPal is huge. And now you know that Apple with Apple Pay is looking into this, and every other tech company that accepts payments, like Amazon, you know they're looking at it. So this is about to come. I think this is going to come sooner than later, probably Q2 of this year. We will probably see this happen. So that is pretty enormous, And who knows? Amazon has a ton of cash also, a ton of cash. I heard last time was like around 80 to 100 billion. Who knows? Maybe they buy some Bitcoin with that too. Maybe they offer crypto trading services also. Who knows? Right now, it's a different world. It's a different world indeed. All right. Now, Amazon's not the only one quietly getting involved. Deutsche Bank also quietly plans on offering crypto custody service. They want to be a custodian service. So, yeah, all these banks, the ones that really hated Bitcoin and crypto overall because it threatened them immensely, now they're like, you know what? The cat's out of the bag. There's no way that our FUD can drive it down anymore, right? We better adapt and take advantage or we're going to die. And that's why every single bank now is coming out and saying, yeah, we're going to become custodians. And you know what? What's the next step afterwards? Well, they're going to open up, their wealth investment advisory groups, right? The ones that they have to advise people on what to do with their money. They're all going to be telling their clients to go buy Bitcoin, just like JP Morgan has done so and Citibank has done so too. And all these other banks, they're probably going to follow in the same footsteps. So it's not just big publicly traded tech companies that's getting involved, but every single financial institution is getting involved. Remember, Visa, MasterCard both declared to go help people buy Bitcoin on top of their network. And now you have banks. So Deutsche Bank is the next one, and Morgan Stanley. They're going beyond that. Not only did Morgan Stanley recently buy a 10% stake in Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, 10%, that's pretty big. They have probably made a ton of money with that buy, but they are considering coming out with $150 billion investment wing. So they're getting ready to go all in. I mean, they're real serious about it. They want to just come out with the entire wing, 150 billion. They're going to be investing, they're going to be buying, and it's just a whole thing, everything combined, right? That is pretty enormous. Like I said, banks, they first open up, maybe become a custodian, maybe they invest in MicroStrategy or Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, but the next move is to offer everything, crypto trading, and also advisory, and who knows what else, right? So Morgan Stanley is also getting in. This is pretty big. So yeah, I mean, I've been telling you guys this, these kind of news, I should say, for quite some time now, right? Back in 2017, 2018, we heard rumors about stuff like this, but no one took it seriously, right? Now, people are taking it seriously. These are actually coming out. They're not just rumors. They're actually done deals. They're coming out, and everyone's getting involved, right? So this is why Bitcoin is at 47,000. It is literally almost 2.5 times higher than its previous high, and this is why Bitcoin is here to stay, and it's going higher, right? This is why it's not like 2018, which some people still ask me about. Hey, don't you think it's like 2018 is going to come down? No, it's not. It's nothing like 2018. Nothing like 2018 at all. So, yeah, hopefully you guys have been paying attention, because the landscape, the macro factors is completely different now. Completely different. And another piece of bullish news is Ark Invest. They have boosted their GBDC holdings by 2.14 million shares. Just yesterday, I talked about how it was not BitGo. There was another company that revealed that they have enormous amount of GBDC shares, over 1 million shares. And now Ark, they're upping their shares, right? This kind of shows you, right now there's no Bitcoin ETF. So these large hedge funds, investment companies, their best thing to do is to just buy GBDC, which does serve almost the same purpose, but not exactly the same. But imagine when a Bitcoin ETF does get approved, it got approved in Canada, and when it gets approved in the US, how much more money will be flowing into those ETFs? And ETFs are funds that are actually backed by real Bitcoin. So the more money that flows in, the more they have to buy. Just like GBDC, how the trust, as it gets bigger, Grayscale has to buy more Bitcoin. Kind of the same thing, right? So the more money that flows in, the more they will go, or the more the Bitcoin will go up. Let's say that. But Grayscale does have also a lot of different trusts too, like Ethereum Trust. They're thinking about coming out with the Cardano Trust. They have a ton of trusts, and money is going to be flowing into them as well. All right, so those are the pieces of news I wanted to cover. Really bullish this morning. Obviously, Bitcoin didn't react to it, but this is all building up, all adding up. Now, I did find something interesting about Ethereum with their new chain for ETH 2.0, their proof of stake chain. Now there is more than 3 million ETH locked in. And this cannot be unlocked until the chain is done. That's the thing. So people that have locked in, including Vitalik, he has locked in a ton. This is being locked in forever. Well, not forever, until 2.0 is done, which could take another year or two, right? But that's 3 million. If you look at the overall circuit supply of Ethereum, there's only 114. So that's about, 2%, 3% of the entire supply just locked in for another year or two. Of course, you have a lot of ETH locked in for DeFi purposes right now too. But overall, this is helping Ethereum push to new highs, which is why it's above 1,800, and it did form a new high, right? So this is why it's going up. 208 billion in market cap. 208 billion. It's only one fourth of Bitcoin. And I say only, but that's pretty amazing if you think about it, right? It just keeps going up and up and up. And of course, altcoins have been doing very, very well. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, altcoins take turns. This is how it is, at least the good ones. The bad ones, they could get pumped and dumped, but the good ones, they take turns pumping. And the good thing about those pumps is once it pumps up, the pump is over, it just comes down slightly, but it still holds most of its value. And then it pumps again, because that's just how things work. So sometimes you'll see something that pumps up tremendously, like Cardano, that has gone up to the moon and hit 93 cents recently. Now it's taking a little breather, but you know what? It's still holding. It's holding at 89 cents. So you can't be scared over that. You can't be disappointed by that, because it literally has gone up 62% for the week. And if you go back a month and 2 months, it has gone up hundreds and hundreds of percent, right? So right now there are some that are taking a breather, but some that are coming up. Like some Litecoin fans mentioned, oh, Litecoin is coming up, right? Is it their turn? I don't know. Stellar's coming up. Even Bitcoin Cash is coming up. But if you go down the list, there's some good ones, not just the bad ones. And I say bad ones, meaning Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and I'll even include Litecoin in there. But if you look at all the ones that have been really doing well, right, they're holding their gains. Like, for example, VeChain has been going up recently, 81% for the week. I'm really glad to see they're holding, right, up 10% still. Theta, which is a fantastic project, they're coming back up, right? So that's pretty good. Dash is up a huge amount today. I don't know if there's anything that explains that, but they have been kind of stagnant as of late. But if you look at Zilliqa is pumping up to the moon, and I actually did some research on why I think that went up. But if you keep going, Ontology's up, Icon is up, OMG is up, right? These are the ones that have been down for a long time, right? Just yesterday, I think people were asking me, what's going on with OMG? So now they're taking turns. Voyager, if you guys haven't been paying attention, shot up to $4 recently. Tremendous pump, right? some of the ones I covered recently, they're smaller ones. Like Voyager, I covered them a few weeks back. They have done really well. I covered Helium not too long ago. They have gone up really, really well. Yesterday, I covered one about TrueFi. They have been doing well. I think they're going to do a lot better too. So, you know what? Right now, altcoins are rallying. It's a good market. It's definitely an exciting and a very, very prosperous market. Let's just put it that way. Nearing $1.5 trillion. Yes, $1.5 trillion. Silver Sun asked about what about nulls? I forgot. Nulls is one that is also holding very well. And it's actually not just holding, it's going up. It's above 70 cents. So it's finally starting to climb a little bit. People are paying attention to nulls. It's still ultra low cap. Let's see if it could break $1. If it could break $1, then I'm going to become really, really, really bullish on nulls once again. Right now, nulls is like an ultra low cap, as many coins from 2017. But nulls definitely does have so many things going for it. I just covered them just like a day ago. One of my favorites from back in 2017. So let's see if they can really build upon this. If they can, and they could get above $1 and keep going, man, they are actually a multi-billion-dollar project. They have so much going for them. It's just that not a whole lot of people is paying attention. All right, I'll turn to you guys for some Q&A. D. Thomas, that was my point yesterday. This is the year of the ox, basically year of the bull for Chinese New Year, right? So, yeah. Is it a coincidence that everything is doing so well? 2021 is the last year of the 4-year cycle, institutional adoption, right? And year of the bull, it's just the stars lining up? It could be perfectly. Oh, so Zilliqa has been going up because they do have a few things coming up. They have a DeFi. There's like a swap now. Also, they're coming out with like native tokens. So that's also going for it. But recently they announced this, and I saw that they're going to do a 30-day airdrop for stakers. Just random airdrops. It's like a lottery system. If you're staking, you could win up to 1,000 ZIL just by staking on the address. And, it's just a creative way, I guess, for them to incentivize people to hold and stake Zilliqa, which isn't a bad idea, actually. I mean, it's actually pretty good. I think that's part of the reason why it started going up. But there are some interesting things happening with Zilliqa. To be completely honest, I got off the Zilliqa bandwagon a long time ago because I didn't like how their two founders left the company. But it seems like they're really picking up, so I'm glad to see that. VeChain's outlook's pretty good. Yeah, I'm glad to see VeChain, get some love. I know BitBoy just did a coverage on them, and I'm glad to see a lot of people paying attention to VeChain. I've been supporting VeChain since 2017, despite the FUD that some other YouTuber caused, but they're a fantastic project. And you know what? I think they're going to go full bull mode once China really opens up their crypto plans, when they open up crypto trading and their exchanges and their digital yuan, yes. And you know what? I think VeChain is going to explode. But in the meantime, I'm glad to see people paying attention. Aave not moving. Well, Aave is taking a breather. Honestly, Aave and Uniswap, they need to take a breather. This is just the extended breather. I think longer than people expected, but they have shot up so much, so fast. If you go back like 3 months, they've gone up thousands of percents, right? So right now, what I think is happening is they're taking a breather. People are looking at alternatives to the biggest DEX and the biggest lending project. And some of the other ones have been moving up relatively well. Like one, I've been telling you guys about Sushi Swap. That has really blown up. Another one that is outside of Ethereum, blockchain is Pancake Swap. And Pancake Swap has been pretty much doubling recently. You can see Sushi Swap is now above 2 billion, really good. Where's Pancake Swap? Pancake Swap is getting up 120% over the week, right? So it seems like people are trying to look for alternatives right now, which is okay, right? It's good to have competition. They don't like the high gas prices, right? With Ethereum, they're looking for alternatives. But you know what? I think Uniswap and Aave will do fine. And then same thing with Aave. There's a lot of AMMs out there right now. Like, for example, Compound is a big one. They're doing big things. But if you go beyond that, there's a lot of others in the space. There's a lot that's going on, especially on Binance Chain right now, which is why I did a video recently on Binance Chain and BNB, because a lot of people are looking for alternatives, and Binance Chain has a lot that's on there already. For example, Venus is also on there, but there's others that's being built on there too that's doing the same thing. Tech Boy says, look at TET. Someone did some crazy COP 10,000. Wow. I don't know what CLP denomination is, but hold on. I got lost track here. I gotta look at some of this. Look at what is that Theta, or that's another project? Yeah, Theta. I mentioned Theta already, Tech Boy. Well, I gotta close the store. Theta is on a roll. I've already mentioned Theta is one of my favorite projects in terms of their traction and stuff. I didn't know, but Theta also allows anyone to create a token, and they also have their own DEX. So you could easily create a token and sell it on their DEX if you wanted to. I didn't know that. That's another thing I just recently found. But they're in streaming, and they're pretty much, really, I guess for decentralized streaming, they're definitely the leaders. Let's just put it that way. It's no surprise because they have the advisors of the founder of like YouTube and Twitch as advisors. They really know what they're doing. They have a lot of TV channels running on there 24/7. They made a deal with World Poker Tour, and they're really on top of it. So Theta might not pump like some of the others, but they've been slowly keeping up, moving up, and they're doing very, very well too. So moving on, what else is there? Have you heard about the contracts Cardano has with African countries? I heard that Charles did have, he had a YouTube video put out recently saying that what he's trying to form with Africa is going to be the biggest ever seen for not only Cardano, but for the entire space. I don't know what that means. I don't know how big it is, but it seems like he's like having an entire continent switch to Cardano or something. I don't know. It sounds wild, but that's one of the reasons why people love Cardano, because people are anticipating that once it's done, that Charles is going to have some huge projects lined up, and will commercialize in a big way. So what do you think about WAN chain and WAN swap? You know what? I never liked WAN chain. I always liked VeChain better because WAN chain is in the same space. They were trying to create smart cities. They were doing supply chain tracking, right? And based on what you said, WAN swap, maybe that's why they have big gains, because they're trying to get into DeFi space, because I'm pretty sure WAN swap is what it sounds like. Yeah, so it's an AMM and DEX exchange that's probably built on WAN swap, WAN chain. So this probably explains why it's going up. I'll have to dig into it more, but I don't know if that's a good move for them. Well, maybe it is, because VeChain already dominated their space, so maybe they want to diversify. Why do you think IOTA is such a bad project? Because IOTA is the most extreme. Well, let's just put it this way. If you look at their blockchain, they're not even blockchain. They're using DAG, which is fine. But It's supposed to be very fast and feeless because the proof of work is basically you're verifying other people's transactions while you're making a transaction, which is great. But the thing is, they have one centralized coordinator node that is there to prevent 51% attacks because there's not enough usage on the network, and also to verify a lot of stuff. They've been talking about this courticide to get rid of that coordinator node for like 4 years, and that still has not been removed. So, I mean, until that is, you're just having one giant project that is completely centralized and at mercy of one node. When that node goes down, and it has before, they had a hack before too with their wallet also. That's why until they get rid of that, I'm not going to be on board. And they've been talking about getting rid of that for years. IOTA has been out for many, many, many years, before 2017 even. They're a really early project, and they're still not done with it. So that's the reason why I don't like them. What happened to Dentacoin? I heard Dentacoin started coming up. Did they start pumping? No, they're good. Good, they're not. Not pumping. Algorand. I started looking into it. A lot of people love it. 6% staking thoughts. That's about right. That's about right. Voyager offers 7% for their own native token. So 6% is not bad, but not all the way up. But Algorand is interesting. I looked more into them. I'm going to share my thoughts later on. So it's pretty interesting. Luna, my man, please, strongest fundamental ever. I'm a big fan of Luna. I covered Luna in my Patreon group like a week ago. I've shared it with you guys, and it has gone up like 100-200% since then. They have really strong fundamentals. They're created by people in South Korea that have traction in the e-commerce space. I have app that's utilizing them. They have stable coins that's being used in many of these apps, and they're backed by really good investment companies. Mike Novogratz companies invested in them, so they're really good. They're really good, and they shot up really fast on CMC. So they're up to 34 now, up 100% for the week. Now, they've been a little bit stagnant, but you know what? Like I said, things take turn. When it's back to Luna's turn or Terra's turn, they're going to shoot up. So I really like that project. Peter, thank you. How did I find your Patreon? Well, it's in my description. So I always put it. It's in the description of all my videos, and also pin it to the top of the comments. I've been looking at Reef. Everyone keeps asking about Reef, but I'm just neutral on it. Reef is basically compound plus liquidity aggregator that's built on Polkadot. A lot of people ask about it. It seems okay, but nothing that really stands out other than the fact that it's on Polkadot. I think that's the thing that people like. So they're trying to aggregate all the liquidity from centralized exchanges and DEXs together, right? And they're like Compound, where they allow you to basically stake and lend and buy, like kind of like both together. That's what they're in. They're okay. It's just there's so many in this space. There's so many in this space right now. So they could definitely move. But I'm not terribly excited about them. Crypto dude, sometimes I feel like that in my chats too, especially about Reef, because there's just endless people that's asking about it. But you know what? Sometimes it's genuinely just people that hear other people talk about it and they just want to ask about it, or they're bag holders and they want me to pump it. Regardless, I'm glad Reef isn't a bad project. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes I get asked all these like really, really bad projects that should not be covered at all. Go BTC. I'm not doing voice impersonations. Do you think ETH Classic will hit 30? I'm not a fan of Ethereum Classic at all. I don't think it serves any purpose whatsoever. Whatsoever. GRT, the graph is amazing. It has done very, very, very well. And I think it'll continue to do well. So there's a lot of competitors now that's coming out the graph. See, the graph is kind of like Chainlink. It's necessary, but it's not as essential or as important as, say, Chainlink. So there could be other projects that gain traction, right? But right now, Graph is definitely leading that space. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Overall, pretty good day. Altcoins are still rallying. Many altcoins are rallying to the moon. Some are taking a breather, but they're not going down. They're simply taking a breather, right? And also, big news with Amazon getting in. Basically, they're going to start accepting payments pretty soon. And then you have banks that's also getting involved. And, everyone is just FOMOing in right now. As long as Bitcoin gets all the love and attention and all the money flows in, you know what? It's going to carry the market forward. It's going to carry the market forward, and guess what's going to happen? A lot of that money will then start flowing to altcoins, as we have been seeing, and they're going to be pushed up to the moon. And it's really amazing if you look at BTC dominance right at 60%. This is among the lowest I've ever seen for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. So things are looking pretty darn good. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash up a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And if you want some exclusive content, if you want to chat with me and others on ideas or get help, check out my Patreon page. And also, if you want a crash course on Bitcoin, you really don't know anything about Bitcoin. You don't know why everyone keeps talking about why I talk about it, and check out my Teachable course. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.